everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk About the POTS Life, your go-to podcast for all things POTS. Whether you're living with POTS or supporting someone who is, this is the place for you.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About the POTS Life.
Today, we're going to talk about why we do the type of exercise in the POTS Life program, why it's set up as it is, and just kind of give you more information on why recumbent exercise is so important. You know, I think there's a lot of research out there and a lot of like maybe social media posts like, oh yes, aerobic exercise, but we need to figure out why or help you understand the why behind it.
Yeah, and if you are recently diagnosed and maybe you're a little bit more severe and you're not like, you're like, no, I don't want to do anything.
Right. How
like,
do you expect me to move?
Wait a second. You need me to ride a bike?
Right.
Like how? Why? Why would that make me feel better when you already don't feel well?
That's the mean part. And Britt and I were talking before we started recording, but the mean part of POTS is you don't feel like you can do anything.
Yep.
So you don't do anything, but then you actually feel worse. So I've been saying a lot lately, POTS does not care if you are a high level athlete or coming to us, you know, from your bed or like bed bound. It doesn't matter because when anybody stands, that blood is going to your feet in a POTS body. So it doesn't matter how athletic you are. You can be, if you listen to our past podcast, Megan, our previous guest, was saying like how on the outside she looked great, right?
Yep.
She was in quote unquote in shape, but then on the inside she was falling apart. So it really doesn't matter how you're coming to us. We all kind of have to start at the same spot. Now that doesn't mean that we don't make modifications along the way.
Oh, we absolutely make them,
levels, but everybody has to go back to the same starting point because POTS really doesn't care.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to like if you think about it, if you're sick, right? You don't want to do anything. But I know if I just sit there, I'm just going to dwell in not feeling well. If I get up and I move around, even if it's subconscious, I feel a little bit better.
Right. Just to get some movement. And the same thing, like blood flowing, right? So even some movement is better than no movement, but it has to be the right kind of movement. Yeah. Because if it's too much, too fast, I was talking about that this morning. Somebody was saying like, oh, was this just I was afraid it was going to be just another therapy. And because people have this bad taste in their mouth because they've tried other therapies or they've been sent for other reasons and then they end up feeling worse. But I gave a lunchtime like talk for therapists out of Ohio State yesterday. And the main takeaway I said to them is like, this is not your traditional patient.
Right.
Prior to me getting POTS, I would have never treated it like this, but especially in their setting, it's outpatient orthopedics. They are typical, like no pain, no gain. And that is so different than what we're doing.
You need to push yourself to get better. And that's typical with a lot of PT in general, right? Like if you are recovering from an injury, if you don't go like push yourself,
push through it.
You have to do that when it's like a sprained ankle that you're recovering from, like
knee replacement. Like we got to get that range of motion, a shoulder for sure. Like those are all the traditional things. And a lot of these therapists were part of the hip team, and for sure, I mean, there are
gotta work that back out.
And there are like standard numbers that they have to hit in order to have function. So 1,000%. But like what I stressed to them was it's not laziness in a person. No. It's not, you know, poor or lack of motivation. It's not those type of things. POTS treatment is so different than anything else they've dealt with.
I just have this clip that I've seen on social media in my head that it's like someone asking someone else, you don't feel good today. And it's like, what, did you go outside? Did you talk to anyone? Did you see sunlight? Did you move? Did you drink water?
Did you have water? Yes.
And that really applies for...
that's like so me in the app.
Someone living with POTS, right? It's like, well, did you move your body today? Did you have your water, electrolytes? Have you eaten in the last 2 hours? Like,
are you near your cycle? Are you, what did you do in the last 48 hours that could have changed it? Yes. It is like having everything be just right. So then you can try the exercise and aerobic training and things like that. Yeah, it's so true.
And the reason that it's biking and not immediately like, oh, we're going to do an elliptical or we're going to just have you walk or on a treadmill, there's a reason why we use a bike.
Yes, because this, I had somebody, she's in week 3, month 10, and she let it slip today that she was like, well, I just tried the elliptical. I said, when? She's like, this week. I said, and how did that go? She's like, well, I couldn't get my heart rate under 160. I said, exactly. Get off that elliptical. And she laughed, and like the rest of the patients laughed. But
it's a full body. When you're on the elliptical, you're literally using your entire body to do that exercise.
Simulating running a little bit. And we haven't even gone to the treadmill with her yet. I said, get off that get off that elliptical. You should have saw her face. She was like a little kid that
got busted taking a piece of Halloween candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the reason it's recumbent biking is because, or biking just in general, instead of the elliptical or the treadmill right away. And we do take you to a treadmill when your blood is ready and your blood volume and everything is working. Yes. But that is not until month 11 and 12. But
you got to check all the boxes before you graduate.
You can't, because the point is in this presentation I did yesterday, I created this graphic, and we're going to have to put it out there on social media, but really it shows the progression in like an upward line, and it's like lying down exercises and quadruped and then supine. And really the program grew, the biking grows, and then the exercise and the program complement how the blood flow is going. So obviously putting you right on a treadmill to start is not going to work because all that blood is stuck in your feet. So you can only go and transition to a treadmill as like when your body's ready.
When your body's retrained. Correct. That's what you're doing at this program is you're retraining your body how to move blood around.
Yes. Retraining that autonomic nervous system to uptake it and work appropriately like other people that get up and walk around. Yeah. So by getting on the bike, recumbent, or some have upright stationary bikes, that's totally fine too. I started my program on that. The only reason I suggest getting a recumbent off the bat or using one from the beginning is because you spend a lot of time on that bike, and I had an upright bike like a Peloton, but it was the Nordic Track version, and my butt hurt.
Yeah. If you're going to be on it a long time, get a comfortable bike, get a great seat.
It is, because I had the shorts, I had the fancy seat, I used the towel, like nothing was comfortable. So, but either way, moving to a biking situation allows us to take out gravity as best as we can. Obviously, recumbent takes it out even more and allows us to retrain the body that way without fighting against gravity, which we already know is a problem.
Right. And in the recumbent bike, you're sitting down.
Yes.
So you're also, when you're new and your blood pressure is kind of all over the place, there's really, I guess you could fall any time, but less chance of falling out of a recumbent bike than if you're on an elliptical or on a treadmill.
Knock on wood. That does not happen to me. But it is like you're just more secure. Plus, if you get that dizziness, like you're already in a seated position and your feet just come right down. So I always recommend recumbent, and it doesn't need to be a fancy bike, right?
No.
You can use Facebook Marketplace. You can use Planet Fitness memberships. You can use all different kind of things that don't have to break the bank. If you know a family member, a lot of grandparents or somebody, what you want to hear, right? Oh, get my grandma's bike. But that's what I hear often. Yeah. So we see that. But what I will tell you is a lot of questions we get either just joining the app or prior to is they have like a little stationary floor peddler. Will that work? It's not enough. So if you have one, it's not bad just to have, and I wouldn't say get rid of it, but it's not going to be appropriate for the program in order for us to make the necessary adjustments and retraining that we need to do.
Yeah, those little things were built for you to put under your desk while you're working. So it's like a mindless, just slow movement. It won't allow you to grow with the program. And so not that it's a bad thing, because if you enjoy sitting there while you're watching TV or something else doing it, it's not a bad thing. Yeah. But probably not best. Yeah. I've also seen people ask about rowing as opposed to biking.
You're right. So I know research has shown that either biking or rowing for aerobic training would work. But I'll be honest, I've had a few try rowing and no one seems to be too successful. It is full body. My parents have one. Yeah. I've tried it. It is full body. I think it is a good workout, but I just think to see the changes, less is more. So I really just say just table that. I've had patients in the past be rowers, truthfully. One was rowing in college. I just had somebody come yesterday, and she said she was on the rowing team in high school. So people like that activity, but I'm like, just table it. and then you can go back to it in the future. But I just feel like it wears people out too fast.
Yeah, I could see that too. Like you said, it's more of it's an upper body thing. You're moving more of your body.
And then their back. We already have people that have like back issues. I mean, myself included, my shoulders would have never been able to withstand it. And I just think the biking is just more controllable.
Sure. And maybe something you can work up to, like the treadmill kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Especially if you're not mobile very much in the beginning, rowing is a tough exercise.
Right. And if it's not something that you've ever done, like for me, there was no need for me to pick it up out of nowhere because I've never done it. So unless it's totally something like that you were used to, that you wanted to go back to, I'm all for going back to it, but just like kind of like putting it on the shelf for a little bit.
For a little bit. Yeah. Tabling. Yeah. And then with all the biking, we've talked about this numerous times. It starts off low and slow, and as your body learns from this, you increase your time. And I think what's the max is an hour at some point.
Yes, and then you do work your way back down. But yes, it does get up and
so that's why the comfortable seat is necessary on the Pod Life program, because you're on there for an hour for a little while.
Yes,
and then the exercises that you get with the program change.
Yes,
and they start off similar to the bike. They're designed to get you some movement
without stressing that body.
Yes, we're not doing jumping jacks.
No. And even if you're like, well, I'm young, I should be able to do it. I think it's such a misconception, because my mom actually just recently got diagnosed, and I hope to have her as a podcast guest later next year.
On.
Yes, but she is a perfect example. Like she is very active, and she
a runner.
Yeah, she was a runner, and then she did boxing, and she did all these things. But seeing like, yes, she could do it, right? But then now that she's learning like what triggers are, she's like, but then I would feel horrible. And yes, I could do. She was just saying this morning, like, I hate planks. I can do them, but like the pressure that came to my head, or burpees were bothering her, all these things that they're doing in boxing. And, she's very in shape, but same thing as Meg, like inside she's starting to like crumble. And you don't, just because you're able to do it, just because you can go do lunges, doesn't mean that you should be doing lunges. So again, whether you're coming to us bedbound or somewhere along the line in between of high level athlete, it doesn't matter. We're all starting at the same spot.
Yeah. The way to not think about the Pod Life program as a replacement for your normal physical activity. We're not really putting it in that. It's more of moving your body. It's a movement program.
Yes.
Not designed to have you lose weight or things like that. It is not designed for that. It's designed to move your blood.
Yes.
Hence the movement. Move it around to get things back trained the right way.
Right, because then you can look at the end of the year and be like, okay, what are my next goals? Do I want to now exercise more for a fitness component? And yes, I still keep my POTS exercise regimen, but what do I want to add? I have people like lately, can I go back to running? Yeah, you for sure can go back to running. So can I go back to swimming? Yes, get in that pool. Can I, you can go back to your activities. It's just in the beginning, we're saying like, this is like your treatment, essentially. Yeah. This is your treatment program.
Yeah. It's, you want to get back to your life, right?
Yes.
We had someone that got back to bar, and that's a huge accomplishment, and that's wonderful. But it's, we recommend that you follow the program without adding in some extra really heavy cardio things, because those could cause a setback, and we're happy to modify the program to meet that, but we want to see you get there.
Right. And it has to be like a give and take, essentially, especially in the beginning, where if you're somebody who goes to the gym all the time, that's fine. I say just add more biking there.
Yeah.
Like you can add the aerobic training there and then add in my exercises. I just met with somebody, she's a physical therapist actually, and she looked like, it was like looking in a mirror on our call, and she was like, I'm so active and I love Pilates and I love yoga and I want to get with a personal trainer because we feel so out of control, right?
Yep.
But then when we started talking, I'm like, listen, I'm not against yoga forever, but that's one I really say, like, I would pause because those static positions and blood, like
especially the upside down ones where your blood flow. Yeah.
9 times out of 10 people say to me, that makes sense because I feel worse. So like that we kind of cross over. Pilates, and I know that's something that is important to her. I'm like, okay, then just try. I've never done Pilates, but try the one where you're lying down. Try that class and like, let's see. So that way there is some give and take, and I don't, totally rip you from your lifestyle, but we have to go back to go forward. So meeting each other kind of halfway. Like, hey, we got to do this treatment, but I'm okay with you adding in some things especially from like a mental health perspective.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And even with Pilates, be honest with your trainer that day, right? The instructor, and saying, I need more. Can you modify my program to be more this way as opposed to flipping upside down or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just need it to be a little bit more tame.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're willing to work with you.
Yeah.
I was taught fitness classes for years, and that's something that if someone said, oh, I have a bad knee or I had this, I would modify and show them how to do that.
Yeah.
That's part of the job.
Yeah, and just making those changes, you know, speaking up for yourself and making those changes, but really coming back to biking is the holy grail along with the strength training complement piece. So the POTS Life treatment coming back is your main treatment part, and then adding in those other pieces, you know, as you feel ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think that the complementary workouts, like, you know, the movements that we do along with the biking are a great foundation for that. When you are feeling better, it's like, maybe I can do a little bit more of these, or, you know, maybe I could do an extra set because I'm feeling good about it.
They grow with you. So in the beginning, they'll feel like people have said like not real exercises. And they mean that in the terms of like, if you went to a personal trainer, that's not where you would start. But I'll be honest, like my mom, who I said is in shape, does exercise often. She told me this morning, she was like, my legs are sore. They're just such small movements. Like, how does this happen? And I'm like, yes, but controlling the speed and isolating certain muscles really makes such a difference. So it's all about like, building that framework. So you get to the point where you get real exercises and feel better in all the movements.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully you learned a little bit why the POTS Life program is structured the way it is. I know I said this before, it's a year-long program, but it's modifiable, adaptable. We want it to work for you. That's why Kelsey was saying about we're not trying to strip everything that you enjoy out of it. But the reason why that we recommend certain things, and we get questions all the time about that, like, or even modifications. I've seen questions like, hey, I really can't do this one exercise. Can you recommend a modification?
Yeah. Or can you take it out and replace it or do something different? I mean, I met with someone this morning who kind of had a hiccup realistically for about 2 months. And she was like, I just don't even know where to go to. And I'm like, listen, this is, like Britt says all the time, a lifestyle change. So I don't want you to feel guilty. It's normal to make changes. We went back, we modified, we're catching the biking up. So really, like, we want you to win, right? We want you to get your life back, and we make it work for you. So it, again, customizable. We'll meet you wherever you are, whether you're coming to us as high level activity or you're, been down and out for a while and don't know where to start. The POTS Life has a place for all of that.
Absolutely. And you could always schedule a time. If you didn't know this, you could go to our website, thepotslife.com. You're actually able to schedule a one-on-one with Kelsey over here to chat more if you just have questions that we haven't answered yet. And then, we can always get you signed on up.
Yep. And then that way it kind of is personalized. I mean, and people are not sure, and that's normal, you're like, or maybe you read a lot of things or you're just not sure what treatment is right for you. So schedule those calls, happy to do them. And then, we can kind of see if we're the right fit for you.
Yeah. We hope we are.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for another episode. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. You could watch us. We are all curled up here as Pennsylvania is getting colder and colder. Blankets will be appearing soon.
Yes.
You can follow us on YouTube to watch us live. Yeah. Not live, pre-recorded.
No, maybe one day. But yes, thanks for joining us. Share with your friends. We're just love that all the places this podcast is reaching and how much feedback we're getting about where people are listening and how it's helping them. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.